Hello friends, this is my new video and it's about how to speed up your WordPress website. As a few months ago, I ran an experiment to see how much faster I could make one of my website in less than 2 hours of work. After installing a handful of WordPress plugins and fixing a few simple errors, I had improved the website loading speed from 1.61 seconds to 583 milliseconds. That's a 70% improvement without having made any visual changes to the website. So let's check how can we do this and how we will optimize our site and load fast. So let's check out. So first one is we need to choose a good host. Your web hosting company and hosting package have a huge impact on the speed of your website, among many other important performance related things. I used to be sucked in my allure of free or cheap hosting, but with the wisdom of hindsight, I have learned that hosting is not an area to skip on. To put this into perspective, two of my clients have similar websites but very different hosting providers. One uses WP Engine, an excellent hosting company, and the other hosts their website on a cheap shared server. So the DNS response time takes for the browser to connect to the client using WP Engine is almost about 7 milliseconds, and the client using a cheap shared hosting has a DNS response time of 250 milliseconds. So if you want your website to run quickly, start with a good hosting company and package. So next we will move to our second point. Choose a good theme. So unfortunately, not all WordPress themes are created equal. While some are extremely fast and well coded, others are bloated with hundreds of bells and whistles under the pretense of being versatile and customizable. So, when you choose a theme, check the page speed of themes demo using a tool such as Pingdom to see how quickly it runs with nothing added to it. This should give you an idea of well coded it is. So after this we will move over to the third point, which is use the content delivery network. So I recently started using content delivery network for one of my websites and noticed a 50% 55% reduction in bandwidth usage and a huge improvement in page loading speed. So a CDN hosts your web files across a huge network of servers around the world. If a user from Argentina visits your website, then they would download files from the server closest to them geographically. Because your bandwidth is spread across so many different servers, the load on any single server is reduced. So setting up a CDN can take a few hours, but it is usually one of the quickest ways to dramatically improve page loading speed. Now, this is our most important thing, use the content delivery network. Now we will move to other point, which identify plugins that are slowing you down. So how can we do this? How we will identify those plugins who are very slow and cause of your site slowness. So I will recommend use P3 plugin performance profiler plugin. This is a WordPress plugin and it's my favorite diagnostic plugin because it shows you the impact of your other plugins on page loading time. This makes it easy to spot any plugins that are slowing down your website. So this is very useful plugin. After this, you need to compress your website. When you compress a web file on your computer as a zip file, the total size of the file is reduced, making it both easier and faster to send to someone. gzip works in exactly the same way, but with your web pages files. Once installed, gzip automatically compresses your website file as a zip file, saving bandwidth and speeding up page load times. When a user visits your website, their browser will automatically unzip the files and shows their contents. This method of transmitting content from the server to the browser is far more efficient and saves a lot of time. So we need to compress our website. After this, we should also compress our images. Images takes up the majority of bandwidth on the most website. WP Isthmus is another great plugin that automatically compresses images as you upload them to the media library. All compression is lossless, meaning that you would not notice any difference in the quality of images. After this, you leverage browser caching. You should have this caching. Browser caching is a tricky issue. A handful of great caching plugins are available, but if set up incorrectly, they could cause more harm than good. So you need to check which plugins you should use. I recommend WP Super Cache. However, you can also use W3 Total Cache, and some other plugins are also available. You can search on it and choose the best one. After this, you need to clean up the database also. I'm a big fan of how often WordPress auto saves everything, but the disadvantage is that your database will get filled with thousands of post revisions, trackbacks, pingbacks, unapproved comments, and test items pretty quickly. The solution is a fantastic plugin called WP Optimize, which automatically clears out your database cache, keeping the database efficient and filled only with that needs to be kept. Of course, when you're doing anything to your database, always back up first. Minify and JavaScript files. If you install more than a handful of plugins, chances are that your website links to 10 to 20 individual style sheets and JavaScript files on every page. This is not ideal. Putting all the JavaScript into one JavaScript file and all CSS in one CSS file is considerably more efficient. So you need to minify all the CSS and JavaScripts. Next, turn off pingbacks and trackbacks. Pingbacks and trackbacks are methods used by WordPress to alert other blogs that your posts links to. While sometimes interesting, they can be a drain on a page speed and are usually better turned off. You can turn them off under the discussion tab in settings. Okay. After that we will move specify image dimensions and character sets. Before a visitor's browser can display your web page, it has to figure out to lay out the content around the images. Without knowing the size of these images, the browser has to figure it out, causing it to work harder and take longer. Specifying image dimensions saves the browser from having to go through this step, speeding things up. For the same reason, specifying a character set in your HTTP response header is useful so that the browser doesn't have to spend extra time working out which one you are using. Simply add the character set into your website's head section. So now the next point is move CSS to the top and JavaScript to the bottom. Linking to your style sheet as close to the top of the page as possible is widely recommended because browser would not render a page before rendering the CSS file. JavaScript, on the other hand, should be as close to the bottom of the footer as possible because it prevents browser from parsing anything after it until it has full loaded. In the majority of cases, this simple fix will improve page loading speed by forcing files to be downloaded in the optimal order, but it can cause issues on websites that rely heavily on JavaScript and that require JavaScript files to load before the user sees any of the page. Next is use CSS sprites. A sprite is essentially one large image file that contains all of your individual images next to each other. Using CSS, you can hide everything in the image except for the section you need by specifying a set of coordinates. CSS sprites speed up a website because loading one big image is much faster than loading a lot of small emojis. After that, enable keep alive. HTTP keep alive refers to the message that is sent between the client's machine and the web server asking for permission to download a file. Enabling keep alive allows the client's machine to download multiple files without having repeatedly asked for permission, thus saving bandwidth. To enable keep alive, simply copy and paste the code which is header set connection keep alive. That's it. And the last one is replace PHP with static HTML where appropriate. PHP is great for making a website efficient and reducing the need to enter the same information multiple times. However, calling information through PHP uses up server resources and should be replaced with static HTML where it doesn't save any time. So, in the next 12 months, mobile internet users is expected to overtake desktop users. This shift towards internet-enabled mobile devices means that having a fast website has never been as important as it is today. Users now expect website to be lightning fast, and developers who don't compile will ultimately lose out to developers who invest in delivering a great experience. So guys, if you like our video and then please subscribe our channel and like, comment. Thank you for watching. Bye bye, and please don't forget to subscribe our channel. Bye bye.